Manel, can you please keep quiet? I'm trying to make a video. Hi everybody, this is Matt again with a new video about the configurator for the Dygma Raise. A lot of you have been asking to see the configurator, and the reason that we've not shown anything is because we've been super busy getting all the hardware ready for the golden prototype and the start of assembly. So the final PCBs have been done and we're making another set in China. As you might know, Manel and I are going to China on Tuesday, and one of the things we're going to do there is check all the PCBs, check all the fits, check everything's working, do the EMC pre-test. And so now we've got a bit of time to concentrate on the configurator. One thing I want to explain is that this is a minimum viable product, or MVP, and the reason for doing that is because we don't want to do a whole lot of work making something that is unnecessary or doesn't work as you want it. So I've been wanting to make this video so that I can show you what we've got up to so far, the basic look and feel, the basic functionality, but in the development timeline of the configurator, we want your responses, what you think is missing, what we can do better, so that we can then use that when we contract an external UI expert, feed your feedback and the feedback from the UI expert back into the specification, and then we will make the configurator that ships with the keyboard. And we're expecting that the configurator starts fairly basic, and then as time goes on we add more stuff to it. So when you're looking at this, what I'm showing you, remember that this is like a walkthrough of a wireframe. It's not functional yet. We're just trying to capture the basics here. So useful feedback will be things like, I think it would be better if this control was over here, or why don't you update the LEDs like this, or it would be easier for me to control it like that, rather than the colour's not quite right, or the borders of this and that don't line up quite correctly, because all of that stuff will get sorted out with the feedback from the UI expert. So I'm going to walk you through the different pages that we've got here. I've got the specification here, and then we've got the wireframe of the MVP configurator on the screen here. The first part is the key map editor. That's the most important part. So the way this is going to work is you'll click on a key to change what key you want it to send, and then over here we've got some drop-down menus like alphanumeric, modifier, to change between layers, to choose a macro, to change the LEDs, that kind of stuff. Now, because there's so many keys, hundreds or even thousands, one thing that we want to get feedback on is how best should we display all those options. So for example, Manel would quite like to be able to see all the keys at once, but I think that would be overwhelming, and we should have them in drop-down lists. But then if there's too many lists, then you've got to do lots of clicking to find the key you want. So ideas about how we can address that would be good. We've got different layers. So at the moment we've got, we're editing layer 1, we can change its name here. We can choose these, the different layers to edit, and that's pretty much it for the key map. Moving on to the LED control. Extremely similar. One thing that we're looking at is having the LED page and the key layout page the same, so that maybe you switch between LED or key, and because the only thing that changes really here is the color picker or the key type. So maybe these should be merged into one, and you click with tabs, or we keep it like this. So again, feedback on that could be useful. As before, you can choose which layer you want to edit, and you can choose a color, and then pick on a key. And as you are choosing colors, the last colors that you've chosen will go down into this little box here. So this is like a history of the colors that you've chosen, to make it easier to make many keys the same. And we also want to do something like, when you right click a key, it loads the color back into the color picker, so that you can then easily make other keys the same color as that specific key. So this is going to be useful when you're setting up a custom layer for a specific game or application, and you want to make all the keys that you're not using dark, and the ones that you care about different colors. One thing that this is actually missing at the moment is there'll be a border with the 30 LEDs around each border for the underglow. So you'll be able to set those LEDs in exactly the same way. And now we look at the plugins. So the only plugin that we are demonstrating now is the macro, because that's one that we're definitely going to have, and everyone probably already knows what it is. The idea at the moment is to split it into the kinds of things that you could add, for example, keys or pauses. We'll use the same type of navigation system as we did in the keyboard layout over here. Here, and then after you've chosen the thing that you want, you can insert them into this list of steps here, and then from here you can drag and drop them or click on the cross button to delete them. You can change the name, you can look at your different macros and make new ones, and then after you've assigned it a name, you'd be able to come over here, choose macro as the key type, choose your macro name, and then assign that to one of the keys. So that's how we're going to handle the plugins to start with on the configurator. Then we've got updating firmware, so you can see your current version, choose a new version, upload it, check for new available firmware there. And then finally we've got being able to save your settings. So we want to be able to save the settings as a text file, because that makes it more easily interchangeable with other tools or other people, sending by email or uploading onto websites. So that's it. We're asking for feedback. If you can let us know if you've got specific things that you would like to see or functionality that we absolutely must have for the configurator that we ship with Raise. Remember, this is going to be a work in progress. Specific questions that we already have is how to manage having a huge number of keys and being able to sort and easily find them, and whether or not we should combine the LED page with the key page. Also, if you know anyone that's really good at UI or UX and they want to help out, remember this is open source software. They can contribute, and we're also looking for experts to hire to give us feedback on this. So if you know anyone that's particularly good, or you're particularly good and you want to help out, then get in touch with me. All right, thanks very much. See you next time. All right, I'm done now. You can keep talking.